My name is Mary Chen. I'm currently the Communications and Events Coordinator at Kwantlen Polytechnic University, and I work for the International Department. So it's working with a lot of international students, both future and current. I definitely credit a lot of the skills that I have and like the self-discipline that I have from working with Canadian literature and definitely the people here at Canadian literature. It's really been a huge, I think, motivation and an inspiration to see such amazing women, especially in this role. Laura Moss, the editor, has been a huge mentor to me. I've been able to learn so much just from both what she can do as an editor and as a professor. It's been amazing to see all like how talented and amazing she is, but also just the way she carries herself as a person. And I learned a lot from her during this role, and definitely with Donna Chen as well, Donna, the managing editor, just seeing how hard she works and just how many pieces of the puzzle she keeps up in the air and how much she cares for the people she works with. All that has definitely been a huge impact on me as I was growing into my own as a young adult and starting my career. Those are huge influences that I still carry with me every day, and definitely something that I strive to be like as I progress further into my career. For one, it definitely, like on a technical level, my writing skills and my communication skills, I think for people at my point in my career are definitely really strong. Like I have a lot of confidence because I've been trained by Donna and Laura and Brendan and all the other people who worked here. I know that I definitely am a strong communicator and I make myself clear, I make myself understood. But beyond that, I think it's a lot of soft skills that I think Canadian literature students get, which is you learn a lot about self-discipline. There's a lot of trust given to co-op students here, so it's not something where your role is micromanaged. There's no one hovering over your shoulder. You understand what you need to do, you get the training to know what you have to do, and then you manage your own schedule, you manage your own responsibilities. And I think that instilled trust in the co-op student really helps them to grow up and become a really self-disciplined person. I think the role is definitely one that expects a lot from the student. And that's a challenge, right? For a lot of the students, I think one great thing about Canadian literature is that they never just look at the experience of the student. Some co-op students who start here have very little experience when they start. Some have more, but they're really looking for, is this person someone that would fit into the CanLit team? And is this someone that we can help grow into someone who can succeed in the role? So the learning curve in the beginning, I think sometimes can be really steep. But I think because there's so much mentorship that goes on here, even though the learning curve is steep, the students are given a lot of support, and eventually they're really able to take on all those responsibilities that you're given here, and then even take the initiative to even take more on. So I think that's always been really positive. For me, I would say one of the biggest impacts has been to go through proofs. Like, so you get a huge stack of paper proofs of the entire issue. A lot of it is academic speech, a lot of it is poetry. I think going through page by page, absorbing all the information and actually working really hard to make sure that you concentrate and pay attention to all the little details, that's been a huge impact on me, because I think going forward now, and no matter what document I'm preparing, I'm able to keep like very strong focus and to make sure that I'm looking at the big picture and making sure that I'm really taking care of all these little details. Going forward to right after my role at Canadian Literature, I went on to be the managing editor for the Capilano Review. And in that role as well, all these skills that I got at Canadian Literature fed right into my role there and being able to do the proofs for the issues at the Capilano Review as well. So definitely proofs were a great learning opportunity, one that I loved, and an experience that still really helps me today. It does cost money to be part of the co-op program, and CanLit is unique and really special in the fact that it recognizes that it can be a financial burden to students, and actually provides this opportunity to support students in making by giving them this award to recognize their contribution, but also to really help them focus on their work, focus on school as well, and not have to worry about the financial aspect behind it. And so for me, it did make a huge difference. I felt like I could really dive right into my role, to know that I didn't have to worry about any of those financial aspects because it was getting taken care of through this award. And I think that's a huge benefit for any co-op student. And I think it's really commendable and something that many other co-op employers should do. Canadian literature has been on the co-op rodeo for so long, so to speak, that they really understand what it's like to be a co-op student and to understand what it's like to be a student in general and to be a young person who needs mentoring. And so they have that support, they have that flexibility. A lot of times they can anticipate what needs or what challenges you might face. And so I think it's a really great place to really get that experience that will both support you as you're getting it and prepare you for a life outside of co-op. Investing in training a next generation of professionals in the Canadian literary community is not something that anyone would regret. And I think that Canadian literature makes it easy for you to know that any support that goes towards these co-op students is well warranted and something that goes a long way. Everybody really learns a lot. It's a really positive program, and it's a really strong example of a really strong co-op program, both here at UBC and beyond.